So this is just the recap for live stream 232. As we can see here, we've had a profitable day. It's the first day using this new strategy. This new strategy also requires an increase in the time frame I'm using. So I've gone up to the 2 minute. I used a strategy at the end of yesterday to recover some of the losses, but I've decided to use a strategy today for the full day for the most part. So I came into the market. Market was in a pretty tight range, looking at about 162 points on NQ, 29 points on ES, and the gold was around that 61.5 mark. So gold was pretty volatile. So let's have a look at our instruments and how we traded. As usual, we can see our breakdown of our P&L on the right hand side of the screen. We picked up 2974 on ES, 9986 on NQ, and 9107 on gold. So we came into the market. We weren't here for this, of course. We had the market start off 26.8 from these highs over here, came down to the previous week's high, traded below it for a slight while, then closed above the previous week's high and had a strong move there to the upside all the way into that 200 where it pulled back from, after which it did set up right here for a long trade on the new system that I am using. So went long, was a bit concerned about this blue line here, which is our VWAP. Price came up to the target, which was 35.7. Price got as high as 35.8. So pretty much a perfect exit right there. Prices then turned around. There were no more setups. There was a setup later on, 3 candles ago. 1, 2, 3. There was a short setup right here, but I've decided not to take it at the end of the day here. I decided to close a day positive, and also not try to push my luck today. Over on NQ, we had Fed Chair Powell speaking about 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, we did see the range was around that 162 when I got to the market. I had the pre-market high sitting around that 792. We had price go up to that 792 into the 790s here, consolidate. Fed Chair Powell came out, would start speaking around about here, around 10. Had this move up, move down, and the extension to the upside. There weren't any setups, actually, tell the truth. Let's see. There might have been a setup I could have took in here, but let's see. 34. So about 36. There might have been a setup I could have took, but I felt it would be pretty aggressive. It would have worked out, but I felt it was too aggressive. Later on, as prices started to put in lower highs, drew this trend line to say possibly that the market may have turned around. I then got a true setup short right here. So we could see we've had a break. Market struggling to head higher. Had a setup short. Problem with the setup short, this blue line being our VWAP, it'll be shorting into VWAP. So I went short, prices came back, decided to adjust my target to VWAP right there, and I was filled. The original target was down at 762.25. This is where we have this green line, and this box represented the lows, these wicks here from this price action before we had to move to the upside. So I thought there would be a possibility that we may see buying if the prices return to that level. As we can see now in hindsight, that no buying really came into place there. So price sold off all the way down to the target. So I exited in the around about the 87 mark. Price got all the way down to the 62. So definitely left some profit on the table. This FOMO trade, I'll talk about it when I talk about ES. So over on ES, I was thinking of going short on the break of the, so we had the move across consolidation. We seem to be breaking down from this trend line. Already drew the trend line there that broke down a while ago on NQ. So thinking of going short, accidentally went long, exited for break even because that resulted in a loss. Decided to just take a small trade to compensate for the loss taken there, and exited. A true setup came. Where was a true setup? There was a true setup right here on this candle. would have been in just around about where the VWAP was. The target was down at a 71.75. Because of the VWAP, the same justification I used not to get into this trade over here. I did not get into the short over here as well. Held the positions, watched the price action. Prices did seem weak and seemed like it was going to go down to target. So what I did was I got in pretty much FOMO with the original stop up at the 82s. Went in, target would be in 71.75. After I got in that trade, I then got into the NQ trade at the same time. And I was planning to manage the NQ trade using ES. So if ES got down to target, I would exit the NQ trade. Of course, as we can see here, the NQ trade got down to target at 71.75. So even though I've put on here that it's FOMO because it was, the extra entry was there. Didn't want to get in because of the VWAP. Felt it was inevitable I would get down to target, which it did eventually. And as I picked a profit there, I manually closed this position over here. I believe at the time of entry, I had a default target-ish set, looking at about 24, I believe. So I did close early, following my rules about using the ES as a stop. Prices would not have got down to that 24. So the trade idea worked out how it was designed, using the momentum from the ES to follow through on the NQ trade. Finally, we'll have a look at the trade performance. On the trade performance here, we can see this is our smooth equity curve. This is a result of, so we only had the one loss, which was our break even there, after making a mistake by going long on ES. So over on ES, we had the this long here, which should have been a short. Apart from that, all profitable trades, really smooth equity curve. Haven't seen one of them in a while. Over on the summary page, we can see gross gains, gross losses, 99 profit factor due to the disparity and the frequency of the wins compared to the losses. Accuracy is 90%. Again, we only had the one losing trade, which was a result of that mistake I did take. So due to the high level of accuracy and the positive outcomes, average win to average loss is going to be a great disparity between the two. Largest win to largest loss, again, a huge disparity. And time in the market about 12 minutes. With this new strategy, I would be expecting to spend a lot more time in the market. So I think this is definitely a result of the relative ease. Well, we look at trades like this here, and more importantly, over on the NQ, we had taken off the profit because of the VWAP, whereas if we'd have held a position, it would have extended the time spent in the market. So that pretty much just wraps up the video. So as usual, what I'll do is I will add the live stream. I believe it's only about 2 hours today. I'll add it to the bottom right hand side of the screen. That'll allow you to watch it back. You maybe want to watch it back at 2 times speed and so on. You can see the times using the x-axis here to the downside when I did take the trade, so you can pretty much sync the two together to get to the parts of the live stream that denotes when the trades were taken. And with that said, thanks for watching. Good luck trading. Have a great day.